Waiting for a life-saving organ is like walking a tightrope, but for those in need of a kidney, the odds are slightly better since there's a chance of finding a living donor.
When you have someone come forward with such a selfless, heroic, loving gesture, you look at everything much differently when you're touched by that sort of a gift.
Recently, producer-director Barry Ivan received what is truly the gift of a lifetime from longtime friend and actor John Charles Kelly.
My overriding feelings were very emotional because I was so enormously touched. JC is so much the salt of the earth kind of guy, and it speaks miles about what kind of person he is, that he would do this.
When the first two donors didn't work, he said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I said, well, what about me?
We asked John Charles about any pre-op stage fright.
A little nervous. Actually, it feels similar to both my weddings and opening nights. You're ready. You hope you do everything right. There's always a chance that something will happen, but let's do it.
The need for kidney donors is huge. There's over 100,000 people in the United States waiting for a kidney transplant today, and only about 10% of those get transplanted every year. This is going to be my 4th transplant this week, and we do a lot of them here.
During a kidney transplant, 2 surgical teams work simultaneously. You are right now looking at a healthy donor kidney that was just brought into the OR. Dr. Kapoor and his team are now examining the kidney, which will in moments be transplanted into the patient. Like for John Charles, kidney donor surgery is generally done laparoscopically. Minimally invasive, it requires a series of relatively small incisions through which the kidney is removed. For recipients like Barry, it's more complicated. A much larger incision is made, and post-op anti-rejection medications are necessary to survive. However, New York Presbyterian Hospital researchers are experimenting with new ways for bodies to accept organs without the necessity of a lifetime of drugs. The results could be a complete game changer.
If Barry didn't get a donor, he would be on dialysis. It's a miserable existence. It literally changes a person's life. It takes a high-functioning, working individual and places them under the chains of a dialysis machine, which they need to be on for at least 3 days a week.
It's a little over a month since we've had the surgery, and John Charles and I have a certain bond for the rest of our lives.
I know a lot of people are afraid of doing something like this, and there's no reason to be. The care I received, I had no pain. That's the thing that I was nervous about. Nothing. And I'm so glad I did it.
And while most people have heard about kidney transplants, receiving a new pancreas is less common, but just as life-changing for type 1 diabetics.
Diabetes is a disease that people underestimate, and I'm here to witness it and tell you guys it's a disease that kills you so slow.
Leander Torres has been a diabetic since he was 16, already on anti-rejection medications after a successful kidney transplant. He was on the wait list for a pancreas when the call came in February.
The pancreas became available, and we successfully transplanted him. He did great. After we restored blood flow to the pancreas in Leander, he only required 2 units of insulin, which is like nothing. Of all the patients I have, I think that diabetics are the most appreciative when they get a pancreas.
I could wake up in the morning and not feel the world on my shoulder. Meaning, with diabetes, you have stress. You're tired. You could sleep 10 hours a day. When you wake up, I had bags in it. I'm just 100% healthier, and I'm just grateful.
Leander was given his life back because someone realized that their organs were no use to them after death. A message the Organ Donor Network is spreading through community-based outreach.
Organ donation is the type of subject that most people want to avoid. And it makes sense why, because you're dealing with your own mortality. So what we try to do is figure out interesting ways to bring the cost to life. So we struck up a partnership with the Brooklyn Nets, and as part of that partnership, we are the presenting partner of a 50-50 raffle that they run every game night. One of the reasons why we do what we do is 83% of New Yorkers support organ donation, yet just 21% of them are registered. So the idea here is that to trigger that positive response that we know is out there and get them to take action and take that step to register.
The New York Giants have also lined up behind organ donation, partnering with New York Presbyterian Hospital to help raise awareness.
One organ donor alone can save up to 8 lives.
Register to become an organ donor and join our team for life.
Actress Vanessa Williams knows firsthand about organ donation. She is a vocal supporter of her father's decision to donate his eyes after he passed on.
It's very comforting to know that there's a piece of my dad somewhere walking on the earth, even though he's no longer with us. And, it's honoring his wishes and keeping his legacy alive.
Up next, our colleague and good friend Robin Roberts and the lessons learned.
I realize that I and others are using our stories to just bring awareness